spotted on empty roads, hiding high above in the mountains, and stalking through the shadows of dense forests.
Oh!
Creatures beyond belief are now coming into view. So hold your breath for the most spine-chilling sightings and unsettling encounters that are still unexplained. Looking up at the sky, the most you expect to see is a bird or two, but this man looked up to find a massive giant soaring through the heavens above. He was out traveling in the US when he spotted this creature with bat-like wings gliding across the sky. Not able to believe his eyes, the man recorded the dragon on his camera and posted the clip online, leaving the internet abuzz with speculation. Some were convinced it was a genuine sighting of the mythical being. Skeptics brushed it off as a hoax. Fish dinos. A bizarre clip has recently surfaced on the internet, leaving people worldwide stunned. A creature with massive wings was seen soaring across the sky. Many thought it looked like a flying fish, but its tail oddly resembled a dinosaur's, leaving people wondering if this was a leftover species from the age of the extinct giants. While some were actually interested in the sighting, skeptics were doubtful, dismissing it as a hoax. Cryptozoologists, however, believe the possibility of it being real could very much be true. Tower creature. Back in 2014, as locals strolled near Notre Dame, Paris, something strange happened. A giant creature flew in and sat on top of the building, sporting gigantic wings and a dinosaur-like body. Locals were scared, thinking they were witnessing a dragon. Someone recorded this footage and posted it online. Now people are divided on this, with some saying a sighting of such a creature would have made global headlines, and there's also a group saying that maybe authorities are trying to hide it from the general public. Vesper Coon. We don't know half the creatures that inhabit our woods, and apparently one adventurer exploring a very remote part of the woods came across a never-seen-before cryptid, bat-like wings, and the body of a raccoon. It was an odd mix, sitting right there on the forest floor. People were quick to reach conclusions, calling the critter Vesper Coon, an Eastern European legend, half bat, half raccoon, believed to terrorize locals with its eerie screech that paralyzed any creature that heard it. Could this actually be the mythical cryptid in flesh and blood, or just a clever hoax? What do you think? Welcome home. After a long day's work, a man returned home only to be greeted by this devilishly looking black creature. It was casually sitting there on the steps for everyone to see. The humanoid-like figure had two giant wings and sharp fangs, with a bat-like face. It looked like a creature straight out of a nightmare, and instead of backpedaling it straight out of there, the man approached the bizarre being. But as he got closer, it vanished right in front of his eyes, as if it were never there, leaving the man wondering if he had been hallucinating. Brazen Entity.
What the hell is that?
Going out in the woods after dark is thrilling, but it can also turn into a real-life horror story. One man found this out the hard way when he encountered an eerie creature looking at him from behind a tree. Its eyes glowed in the dark as it eyed the man, leaving him with an unforgettable memory. The guy was convinced he had witnessed something otherworldly, although he had no idea what it could be. The cryptid could barely be seen in the darkness, with many saying it could be anything from Dogman to Bigfoot. So what do you think it could be?
Who is that, man? Hello?
Eerie visitor. Have you ever got that spine chilling of being watched? Someone probably is. And in this guy's case, it turned out to be a bizarre looking cryptid. The homeowner freaked out when he saw those unblinking eyes peering through one of his windows. Luckily, the thing didn't break into the house, but folks on the internet have been theorizing the critter's origins. Some suggested that it was a Chupacabra, others were convinced it was a Skinwalker, but a few argued that it might have been a dog. What do you think? Sheep Squatch. Reports of a mysterious creature lurking in the backwoods of West Virginia have been recently circulating online. Nobody was sure how much of the rumors were true. That is until this video surfaced. The uploader claimed he had managed to capture the mystery beast on camera. However, only its glowing eyes were visible in the dark, but some could even trace a faint shadow of its silhouette, suggesting it was a sheep squatch, an eerie creature with the head of a ram and the body of a large burly man covered in thick white fur, preying upon anything that crosses its path from livestock to the occasional unfortunate human. But the mystery of this alleged sheep squatch sighting remains debatable, as some have dismissed it as a hoax. Uninvited Guest. Ever wonder what might be lurking outside your front door? Looks like this video might have the answer. A homeowner was checking their Ring doorbell camera when a terrifying creature came knocking. This was no ordinary dog. The thing's feet resembled human hands, not to mention its bulky body, almost as if the canine was on steroids. When the video was uploaded on social media, people went wild with speculation. Many believed it was a mutated dog. However, skeptics dismissed the footage as a hoax. Humanoid Lizards. An explorer in the middle of winter was out on a mission when he came across a shocking sight. His camera captured reptilian beings trekking through the snowy landscape. Their humanoid forms and cautious steps made them all the more eerie, as if they were up to a secret mission. As the video spread online, people started speculating about the origins of these mysterious creatures. The video was blurred due to the blizzard, making it even harder to tell what those creatures really were, adding a second layer to the mystery. One-Eyed Horror. A guy's midnight trek through the forest took an extraterrestrial turn when he came face to face with an unbelievable entity. And when I say face to face, I mean quite literally. It's shocking the guy didn't faint or lose his mind right then and there, because how do you make sense of something like that? The eerie being had only one eye and a pasty white body, as if it were a gelatinous monster. The video was suddenly cut short, and we can only speculate what happened to the guy. El Ombre Bestia. El Hombre Bestia, or the Beast Man, is a Peruvian legend that roams in the deep shadows of jungles feared by indigenous tribes. Standing 10 feet tall, the towering creature is coated in thick fur. Its most terrifying feature is its face, sending a chill down the spines of even the bravest of souls. A blend of animal, demonic, and human. And that's what one homeowner found peeking in through his window. Imagine the terror the guy would have felt with something like this inches away from him. I would have booked a flight straight out of that place. Rake Encounter.
Oh.
Ever gone camping and felt like something was watching you? That's what happened to a guy out in the wild. While camping in the woods, he heard strange noises outside his tent. Curious and a bit uneasy, he went out to investigate, only to come dangerously close to a terrifying creature. Pale white and crawling on all fours, the humanoid figure rapidly made its way to the guy as if ready to strike him. The guy managed to get a head start and got out of there. People have been calling it the legendary Rake, and this is the one creature you definitely don't want to cross paths with.
Oh.
Chupacabra. Unusually tall, walking on all four, looking like a canine, but not quite. This clip has reignited rumors of the legendary Chupacabra's existence. A blood-sucking beast. That's bad news for any cattle owner. A guy found this critter walking near a farm and decided to warn people in the region to be careful. Just looking at its dark silhouette and those long legs, I can be certain that this doesn't look like any known animal. Amidst all the Chupacabra allegations and some denying them, the true nature of the creature had remained unidentified. Appalachian Bee. Legend has it that the Appalachian Mountains are full of mythical creatures, from the Moth Man to the Flatwood Monsters. But is it all true? Well, according to this video, it just might be. A car camera recorded a chilling moment parked outside a vacation house in the Appalachian. Weird wolf-like howling sounds were heard, followed by thudding and banging on the car, and then the thing peeked in through the window, revealing pointed ears and large, eerily yellow eyes. Netizens were convinced this was the Wampus Cat, a six-legged feline with glowing yellow eyes that appears in Cherokee folklore, a fearsome entity that roams about seeking revenge in any way possible. Roadside Blob. We don't even know half the things that are hidden among us, as one man realized on a late night walk. On the side of a road, he found a strange blob. At first, he thought it was just garbage, but then it moved, seemingly alive. Twisting and turning, stretching upwards, the gelatinous creature looked as if it had sprung out of a sci-fi movie. He couldn't make sense of the entity at all. Posting the clip online, he hoped for some answers, but no one had any idea what the creature was. Glowing eyes. This man instantly regretted exploring an abandoned place at night when he saw something he'll never forget. As he was going through the place, he spotted something on the roof of the building. A pair of glowing eyes were staring down at him. The pale humanoid figure appeared to be down on all fours, as if ready to pounce on the explorer. While the guy backpedaled it straight out of there, not staying for its next move, netizens were left guessing what the creature was. Or, if it even was real, your guess is as good as anyone's. Mystery Skinwalker. This man stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air, only to have a bizarre creature staring down at him. It looked like an owl, but many claimed that it might have actually been a skinwalker in a half-hearted disguise pointing at that long skinny neck. However, others believed it was an ordinary owl that was either affected by a disease or was distressed by something. Let me know your take on this. Picnic Intruder. A group of friends camping in the middle of a forest had an encounter they'll remember all their lives. They were enjoying their time when something strange was caught on camera. A creature was caught creeping up on them on top of the cabin. Only a brief glimpse of the entity was caught on camera. The clip is an old one, so it's hard to identify what the creature actually was. Some speculated that it was a koala, but that was soon dismissed as the creature had a tail. Others suggested that it looked like a goblin-like creature, and if you look closely, it does not resemble any known animal. So what could it be? Hit me with your best guesses. Visiting Earth. If you're a UFO enthusiast, you've got to see this next clip. Back in 2014, Chinese locals out in the woods were shocked when they saw a huge saucer from afar. A few of them decided to get a closer look at it. What they saw there will forever be engraved in their minds. The massive UFO was parked on the ground, and an alien was coming out of its open hatch. It walked around slowly, as if surveying the place around him. It seemed to have noticed the group panicked and took right off. People who watched the video wanted to know more about the incident, but the authorities have not spoken up yet, leaving it a mystery like all the others. Ghost Girl. This guy took his son to play soccer with him in an abandoned yard near their house. But that soon turned out to be a bad idea. As they were warming up, something unbelievable happened. What looked like a small humanoid figure appeared out of nowhere, running across the field. It jumped into what remained of a small room after most of it had rotted away. But the strangest part was when the man went to inspect, he found no one in or around the area. Where could it have gone? The father was certain it was the spirit of a girl who had passed away a few years ago. Creature of Dark. After repeatedly hearing strange sounds coming from his local woods, this man finally made up his mind to investigate. Setting out at night, he followed the sound only to regret his decision. A ghostly pale figure suddenly sprang out from behind a tree, emitting a bone-chilling sound. As the clip was received with mixed feelings from netizens, some theorized these were nocturnal creatures that emerged from their underground caves in search of food. Others suggested they were stranded aliens that went feral in order to survive in the wilderness. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. ET Encounter. Aliens have become an inseparable part of our pop culture, but they're only considered as myths and stories. However, this next clip has reignited debates about the existence of aliens all over again. The video featured a group of friends exploring a cave in Mexico when suddenly a humanoid figure crawled out of it, quickly advancing towards them as they screamed and hightailed it out of there. An elongated head, lean body, and long limbs, they were convinced that they had encountered a real-life ET. So what do you think? Could this be an actual alien? Or someone just got creative with the video? Otherworldly cryptid. The woods will always remain mysterious, but sometimes you come across something you can't even explain. A man collecting firewood for his campsite stumbled upon a shocking sight. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. It looked like a weird blend of bird and feline, with strange striped feathers and a face that reminds me of owls. People instantly drew comparisons with the mythical Buckbeak from Harry Potter. While the nature of this bizarre-looking animal remains a mystery, many believe that it was only a CGI trick. It could be. Given the age we live in, you never know what is what. Skinwalkers. Driving down a dark, deserted road, two friends saw something up ahead, barely visible in the dim headlights. The two pale humanoids stumbled across the street as if they had somewhere to be. They slowed down the car, trying not to agitate the beings. Luckily, the creatures paid no mind to the vehicle and went their own way. But the question is, what were these creatures? Netizens were divided. Some believed they were extraterrestrials. Others argued that they looked like the legendary skinwalkers from ancient folklore, but nobody knows for sure. Moth Man. A man was driving late at night when he spotted something straight out of this world. A creature suddenly hopped out of the bush, disappearing across the road. The terrified driver kept going, not wanting to stay on the eerie, deserted street for too long. The entity was barely visible in the dashcam footage, but netizens started cooking up all sorts of theories after analyzing it in detail. Many believe it was a humanoid insect with large wings. Others suggested that it might be the Moth Man, wondering how much of the mythical creature was actually real. Satyr. A couple of men were getting ready to film a vlog when they noticed something otherworldly appear behind a pillar. At first, they couldn't make out what creature it was due to the darkness. But when they zoomed in with their camera, they realized it was not of this world. Screaming, "Devil!" they ended the video, quickly fleeing the scene. The creature looked demonic with two small horns protruding from its head. Some believe it was a satyr, claiming myths were more than just stories. But whatever its true identity was, it's truly horrifying to come across such a nightmare in the middle of the night. Dogman. Back in 2020, a Facebook user was live streaming at 1 a.m. at night, recounting a terrifying encounter he had with a werewolf-like creature. And a few minutes in, just as he was explaining how it had occurred, a dark shape was seen darting across the frame of the video. The man quickly shut his door in fear and absolute disbelief. But the question is, what was that dark shape? People have been cooking up theories, with some saying it was the legendary Dogman, while others were convinced it was a werewolf transformed by the full moon, but no further information about the video has come forth yet. Ghost Soldier. Back in December 2023, two friends were driving through Northam, North Devon. One of them took out their phone to film a war memorial. It is not until they were back home and watching the recording that they spotted something strange. A misty figure of a man was sitting on a bench next to the memorial. The video instantly went viral, leaving the internet abuzz with all sorts of theories. Many were convinced it was the spirit of a soldier that was unable to pass on the afterlife. What do you think about this one? Lantern Man? On his way home from a fishing trip in the Quemahoning Reservoir, a man captured terrifying footage of a tall, dark creature walking down the road. It appeared to be holding some type of a lantern in its right hand. The stature of the being was shocking. It almost looked like a Bigfoot, but as the footage started circulating on the internet, locals were convinced it was the Lantern Man of the Quemahoning Dam, a malevolent entity that is believed to roam the reservoir, often seen as a distant red light. Let me know your take on this. Dino Babies. This next video circulating online has left everyone at a loss of words. The clip featured what looked like a trio of dinosaur babies all lined up together. They appeared to be fast asleep. It looked too good to be true, and many feared that scientists have finally created dinosaur clones, wondering if they were about to see a real-life version of Jurassic Park. Others, however, believe it was CGI to trick viewers. Colossal Spider. Pulling your blinds after waking up, you would expect an early morning sun, but this resident was greeted by a sight out of this world. A massive spider-like thing was climbing up on a nearby building. It could be a human with extraordinarily long limbs, but then the creature had no visible head and had a mid part that resembled a spider. Could a gigantic spider be haunting our streets? While some were convinced, skeptics argued a thing this huge wouldn't have gone unnoticed for long, ruling it out as a hoax. Rake Interruption. Late-night road trips sometimes lead to terrifying encounters, just like what happened to these guys. They were racing down the street on their bikes when a ghastly pale humanoid figure interrupted them, wandering aimlessly as if confused itself. The creature was like a living nightmare. The men quickly captured the being on their cameras and fled the scene as the video started circulating online. Many were sure the bikers had encountered a rake. Others thought it was a stranded alien that had no idea where he was, while skeptics dismissed the clip as staged. Giant winged bug. As he waited for the traffic light to turn red, this guy spotted his worst nightmare. A massive bug with multiple legs, looking too bizarre to be real. But it was, and that's not even the worst part. This enormous insect could fly. Nothing's more terrifying than a giant flying bug that looks like it jumped right out of a horror movie, right? Fairy sighting. Until now, fairies were just myths, nothing more than imaginative beings. But lately, people have been debating their existence as a couple of bizarre videos started circulating online. A security camera managed to capture a striking moment. What could only be described as a fairy zipped across the screen. Delicate wings and a human-like body, the mythical creature was tiny, leaving people shocked, wondering why they hadn't witnessed something like this before. Terrified dog. Just as the clock struck 1, the security camera outside a house captured something truly disturbing. And if you're thinking this is some CGI or some camera trick, notice the dog's behavior. It grew agitated as it sensed something in the street below. Suddenly, a shadowy pair of legs were seen running across the road, no sign of an upper body. The canine was clearly freaked out, barking at the entity, and then retreated back into the house. The ghost legs remain an unsolved mystery. If you have any insights, do let me know in the comments. Alien in Turkey. Back in 2019, Turkish residents witnessed something truly shocking in the streets of Diyarbakir. The viral CCTV footage captured a bizarre-looking creature on the road, and there's more. The thing even knew how to fly, or would you call that floating? The alien-like entity slowly ascended into the sky and disappeared out of the frame. Strangely, it appeared to be rotating as well. What could this entity be? Some internet folks thought it was a helium balloon, but locals were certain that it was an extraterrestrial and were terrified these things were going to invade the city. Real-life gnomes. There's an old myth about lawn ornaments. It is believed that they come to life after the sun sets. And if you think there's no truth to it, you may want to take a look at this video. A home security camera in Texas captured what looked like two bipedal creatures milling around by the entrance of the house. They were hardly taller than the car's tires, suggesting they might be mythical in nature. Many agreed they looked like gnomes or elves. Some residents even shared their own experiences with the beings. So what do you think these were? Living lawn ornaments? Or just a well-crafted hoax? Demonic entity. A man spending his holidays back at his village encountered something he will never forget. Night had fallen when he reached home. He was planning to go straight to bed, but something on the rooftop caught his eye. It was a demonic-looking creature. Pointed ears, a short stature, and sharp-clawed hands. The guy was convinced he had seen the devil himself. The hysterical screaming and praying of the man can be heard in the background, making it harder to debunk this clip as staged. Many believe it was a golem-like entity seeking revenge. Others suggested it could be a goblin. But the video ended abruptly, leaving the being another unsolved mystery. Mysterious eavesdropper. This guy was having a good time recording himself playing the guitar when the camera spotted something eerie in the background. It was a hairy beast that appeared to be peeking inside, as if attracted by the tunes he was playing. The guy soon realized that he was being watched. Scared, he looked back, but the creature had already disappeared. What do you think this possibly could be? Many believed it was a Bigfoot, while others suggested it looked more like a Dogman. Your guess is as good as anyone's. Ghost patient.
Hey, what's up?
Late at night, a morgue worker faced his worst nightmare. When he checked the freezer, a body that had come in hours ago had mysteriously vanished. Since he was the only one on the night shift, there was no way anyone else could have moved it. Moments later, he caught movement from the corner of his eye. Hoping it was a colleague, he approached, only to realize it was the body of the deceased, seemingly alive. To his utter horror, the body then moved through the wall. Unable to believe what he'd seen, he posted the footage online. If I were in his place, I would have quit right then and there.
Hey, what's up?
Shadowman.
Te lo juro que estoy temblando.
A woman in Mexico was alone in her apartment when she noticed mysterious activity near her front door. She set up a camera to monitor what was causing the disturbance, and what it captured is truly horrifying. At first, nothing happened, then suddenly a figure peeked out its face. It was pitch black and appeared humanoid, scaring the girl out of her house. People quickly dubbed it as a shadow person that is actually a djinn that takes the shape of a human shadow to haunt its victims.
Miedo, te lo juro que estoy temblando.
Open discussion. A strange photo of a winged creature has been making the rounds online, and people are starting to wonder if creatures from ancient folklore might be more than just myths. A few years back, a shocking event was caught on camera. Something burst out of the road, nearly toppling a car. It flew straight for the camera, cutting the footage short. The creature had massive wings and looked like a colossal moth, sparking debate that it could be the legendary Moth Man. However, skeptics argued that an event like this would have made headlines worldwide, dismissing it as a hoax. What do you think these sightings mean? Could they be warning signs of something bigger? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.